Imagine a lake, not just any lake, but one so remote, so hidden, that it only appeared on maps for a fleeting moment, an accidental anomaly, a cartographic ghost, a vast, freshwater body nestled deep within one of the world's most desolate and hostile environments. Does that sound impossible? Because in 1989, a team of researchers found exactly that, a colossal, inexplicable lake buried beneath miles of ice, a place where no sunlight had touched for millions of years. And what they discovered within its frigid depths challenged every assumption we had about life on Earth. To understand this profound mystery, we need to journey to the heart of Antarctica, a continent synonymous with desolation, a land of endless ice and brutal winds. For decades, scientists had used seismic waves and ground-penetrating radar to probe the continent's colossal ice sheet, trying to map the hidden topography beneath. It was painstaking work, a slow unfolding of data that hinted at something truly extraordinary. In the late 1980s, British and Russian scientists, compiling vast amounts of data, noticed a peculiar signature, an incredibly flat, smooth reflection extending for hundreds of miles deep beneath the ice near Vostok station, a remote Russian research outpost known for holding the record for the coldest temperature ever recorded on Earth. It was too flat to be bedrock, too consistent to be a glacial anomaly. It could only be one thing: water, a lake, and not just a pond, but a body of water roughly the size of Lake Ontario, stretching 250 kilometers long and 50 kilometers wide, cloaked under 3.7 kilometers, 2.3 miles of solid ice. This wasn't merely a discovery, it was an unveiling of a forgotten world, a relic from a time before humanity, perfectly preserved beneath the crushing weight of millennia. The implications were staggering. How could such a large body of liquid water exist in a place where the average surface temperature hovers around 55 degrees Celsius? The answer lay in a combination of geothermal heat from below and the immense insulating pressure of the ice above, keeping the water from completely freezing. But the deeper mystery wasn't just how it existed, but what existed within it. The initial detection ignited an unprecedented scientific race and a monumental logistical challenge. How do you reach a lake buried so deep without contaminating it with the very tools you use to explore? The Vostok Ice Core drilling project had started decades earlier, slowly boring down into the ice, collecting ancient climate data layer by layer. But now, the goal was different: penetration. The drilling method used kerosene and freon as lubricants and antifreeze, essential for keeping the borehole open in such extreme cold. However, the thought of pumping these chemicals into a pristine, primordial ecosystem, potentially untouched for 15 to 20 million years, was a terrifying prospect. Scientists grappled with this ethical dilemma, knowing that whatever life forms resided there might be utterly unique, adapted to conditions unlike anywhere else on Earth. Initial attempts to pause drilling hundreds of meters above the lake proved insufficient. The scientific community demanded a solution that guaranteed purity. The breakthrough came with a brilliant, yet slow, method. Once the drill reached a critical point above the lake, they would stop. The water pressure from the lake itself, being slightly higher than the column of drilling fluid, would force a small amount of ultra-pure lake water up into the borehole, freeze, and then be retrieved, leaving the lake itself untouched. It was a race against time, against the elements, and against the immense pressure of scientific expectation. Years turned into decades. The drill progressed millimeter by agonizing millimeter through layers of ice that recorded millions of years of Earth's history, each core sample a frozen archive of ancient air and dust. Then, in February 2012, after more than 20 years of relentless effort, the Russian team at Vostok station finally broke through. At a depth of 3,069 meters, the drill passed into something new, something liquid, something utterly alien. The initial samples, gathered using the clever reverse freeze technique, revealed water unlike any seen before. It was ultra-oligotrophic, meaning it contained extremely low nutrient levels, saturated with oxygen at levels 50 times higher than typical fresh water. This level of oxygen would be toxic to most known life forms. The conditions were brutal: absolute darkness, immense pressure, frigid temperatures, and almost no readily available food sources. Yet, when scientists later analyzed genetic material from the ice that had frozen onto the drill bit and from the initial water samples, they found something astounding. Not just a few hardy bacteria, but a diverse and complex microbial ecosystem. They discovered sequences matching various bacteria, archaea, and even some simple eukaryotes. Some were thermophiles, suggesting localized hydrothermal vents on the lake bed provided warmth and chemical energy. Others were psychrophiles, adapted to thrive in extreme cold. One particularly remarkable finding was a bacterium, later named Wasimatia vostokensis, that had no close relatives in any existing genetic databases. It was a completely novel lineage, a shadow biosphere, that had evolved in perfect isolation for millions of years, an ecosystem that processed energy not from sunlight or typical organic matter, but from chemical reactions in the surrounding rock and dissolved gases. This wasn't just life, it was alien life, found on our own planet, a testament to the incredible resilience and adaptability of biological processes under the most unimaginable stresses. The lake and its inhabitants represented a living laboratory, a natural experiment in evolution, playing out over eons. To this day, Lake Vostok remains an enigma, a monument to Earth's hidden wonders and a beacon for astrobiology. The extraordinary organisms found within its dark, oxygen-rich waters offer a tantalizing glimpse into what life might look like on other icy moons and planets, such as Jupiter's Europa or Saturn's Enceladus, which are also thought to harbor vast subsurface oceans. If life can thrive in the crushing darkness, extreme cold, and chemical-laden environment of Lake Vostok, then the possibilities for life beyond Earth expand exponentially. The lake itself is a time capsule, its waters holding secrets of Earth's ancient past, its geology hinting at unknown processes. While further exploration is incredibly difficult and fraught with the risk of contamination, the discoveries made there have fundamentally altered our understanding of habitable zones and the very definition of life itself. The hunt for more of Lake Vostok's unique inhabitants continues, with new technologies being developed to probe its depths with minimal intrusion. We may never fully comprehend the entirety of its secrets, but the lake that shouldn't exist has already proven that even in the most desolate corners of our own world, life finds a way to not just survive, but to flourish in forms we are only just beginning to comprehend. The next time you look at a map, remember that some of the greatest wonders aren't marked on any surface, but lie hidden, waiting to be discovered, deep beneath the ice. If you want to dive deeper into another incredible, almost unbelievable discovery that redefines our understanding of ancient history,